This is Doc. I got a special announcement for this because, when it comes to our fur babies, everybody needs a little help. This particular person, my friend Mora, needs help for her cat Nuno. Um, and this is all going to a good cause. Please go to gofundme.com. Nuno needs your help for recovery. That's gofundme.com. Nuno needs your help for recovery. The link will be in the episode description. Please give anything that you can. This is a good boy. And Nuno needs all your help. Really cool cat, if you know what I mean. And please, give. It's all.
Let's rock and roll. Get the drum rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home. Jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone. Nice tea, and I'll get my ping pong. This is game heavy. Can't hear the bass, boom. I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey. Yeah, this beat paid like money. Disco all alone. I'm into that. I'm good to go. I'm fine. You know I glow up. Hey, so let's go. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me breathe down fire. Set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with the little fucking soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa.
This is Doc, aka Dr. Lariat, aka the Big Bush Man, aka Big Scran Vader, aka Yan Yan Bigelow, aka Magnum Suchio, and I want to see you go.
Go.
I want to see you go.
Go.
Oh,
I gotta see you go.
Go.
And here we go. Go.
Go.
Go. AKA the Chow main event, AKA I have bangers and mash for breakfast, but that's here or there. AKA welcome to the Puso Penitentiary. And when I say poos, you say so. Poos.
So.
Poos.
So.
Chihu, aka your host. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a second take, and I thought that was much better. So I'm gonna introduce my guest.
No, I didn't think so.
Oh man, because the whole thing that people hate whenever wrestling goes to Europe is all the songs that they sing. When they sing first name, last name, first name, last name. That or one of my favorite chants of that weekend, because on this show we're gonna talk a little bit about Forbidden Door, was "Hey Christian, would you be my dad?" That was a funny one. So I'm gonna do a little bit of introductions to these wonderful people because I know I've had them here for a while. But starting us off, because it's always ladies first here, we have the unbelievable big star of Keeping It Strong Style, their social media manager. We got us our big star here, Emily. Welcome to the show.
hello, thank you. Did I ask you how you're doing again? Or
You don't have to. Following that, we got ourselves from the land of Munich. He was the third man I ever interviewed on this show. He has his own podcast, Joshing Around, which I recommend listening to because it's a great way to get involved in learning about Joshi, which is Japanese ladies pro wrestling. We got here Tim Hunter.
Hello, thank you. I'm back.
Yeah. And we also have joining us once again, because everybody here is a rerun, a return. This is the second run for everybody here. We got Big Matt, Legion AOD, one of the best music writers, wrestling writers out there. Please read his articles. We got Legion. Hey Matt, what's up?
Oh, good, man. Glad to be back.
I'm totally gonna get that Freddy versus Jason vinyl. That's gonna be so sick.
Yes.
And finally, we have to me he's a return. To you guys, it's the first time you're hearing his voice. We got here Big Cannon, Chris Gannon. Welcome to the show, man. And that's because he uses a Canon camera, nothing else. Please don't read into that.
No, please do read into that. I am available on Bumble.
Oh, okay,
How's it
yeah.
going, Doc?
Good, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna take this opportunity because hey, if you're single and if you're in the Birmingham area, please hit up Chris Gannon on Bumble. He's a lovely man. He's got great hair. I gotta say, like that hair, man, aces. And we are here today with a European conglomeration. As we're gonna conglomerate all over this, a little bit of a Forbidden Door review, a little bit more of like a me asking people questions about Europe that I have questions about because I'm an ignorant American. Let me do that one more time. I'm an ignorant American, and being an ignorant American, I don't really have an idea about what's going on in all these countries because I got someone from Scotland here. I got two guys from England, and I have, of course, Tim from Germany, which to me is one of the countries that I would ever consider moving to based on the politics there and based on like having free healthcare and all that other stuff. But that's gonna come later. My first question for you guys is, with Forbidden Door happening about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think three of you went there live. How would you guys describe the live experience?
So I'd say arena shows definitely a much better live experience than stadium shows. I think match quality wise probably stacks up against the second one pretty well, but yeah, just like the atmosphere in an arena is so much nicer than it is in a stadium.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I was there at All In 2023, and I had a much better time at the O2 this year. I like arenas a lot better generally. I generally had a great time there, meeting a lot of great people, including Chris. And I also had a great time at like Rev Pro and Eve the days before. So all around a great trip for me. And the show was great front to back too, I thought, being there live in the arena.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I don't think I have a preference between arenas and stadiums because I was also in Texas this year for All In. And that was a really nice stadium. But yeah, a lot of fun. Met a lot of people as well.
That's just perfect. And Matt, I know you didn't attend live, but I want to ask you why you didn't go because you know they have live shows here all the time that I don't go to. Because sometimes you just don't want to go out and watch, and sometimes, for me, the best way to experience wrestling is sometimes a good way to experience wrestling is at home at a comfortable time with some nice, snacks. So when I know your experience is different because you watched on TV, but like, what was your vibes on the show?
My vibe of the show is that you could really tell that the crowd were very passionate. Yep, you got the usual singing and the usual wacky chants that you get at these kind of shows. You also got people. It was nice to see that more people knew who people like Michael Oku were and stuff.
Yeah.
Compared to say when they did the Wembley shows and he showed up at those, there was more buzz at this show than there was when he showed up at. I think he was at the last All In or the All In before.
Yeah.
For example, and of course you have the mad main event that was the lights out cage match, which I'm sure we'll have plenty to speak about later on. So
Yeah. Because I know that Emily had done that big Keeping It Strong style review. Please go to Social Suplex or join their Patreon at Keeping It Strong style and pay money to get the ad-free version because Emily is on that show and she did a bang-up job reviewing that show. So the way I do reviews is a little different, but we can talk about it. And you know what? You're not gonna have to wait that long, Matt, because we always start off with the big match on first. So what do you guys think about the cage match?
Loved it. Absolutely bonkers. It's just like every time that you thought you saw something that can be topped, well, then Darby Allin climbs up on top of a cage and dies essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I thought it was just. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I thought it was like just great fun front to back. It was just hooting and hollering there. Yeah, there's really nothing I really hated about the match, and yeah, it was great. I thought the post match was also cool. In the stadium. I mean, it wasn't cool for the Osprey fans, but I mostly just watched Ibushi. That was kind of great.
Yeah, just amazing to seeing him like just run full pelt into the cage and just bounce off it.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, man.
I just go ahead, Adam.
Okay, I'll go. I would just describe this as a party match, essentially, which is a lot of fun, and I think it's the best way to end these kind of shows. So yeah, just echoing the same sentiments. It was a lot of fun.
That's great.
I just loved it. It was pure chaos throughout the entire thing. I mean, Darby Allin being the right way to use Darby is matches like these to me. Him getting thrown into the cage, him getting stabbed in the ear. That was insane. That was insane. That was up there with Iceman and his son at a Riot show using a wooden board and a hammer to put a nail in one of their ears to keep them down for the 10 count a couple of years ago.
Good. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that sounds like Rise.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you have the whole. One of my favorite bits was when Tanahashi's getting up on the ladder, and then Ospreay and Ibushi are like, no, you're not doing this. I'm thinking, if Ibushi is telling you to get down, that means something. The only thing I didn't like out of it really was when Gabe Kidd was trying to do his Gollum impression at the beginning of the match.
I didn't even notice that.
He really likes to shake his
head. We didn't see the entrance. Like, we didn't get to see them going, like, underneath the tunnel before they came out. So it wasn't until I watched it on TV afterwards. I was like, oh, he's turned into, like, a dog.
Oh, we literally didn't see that. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering. Yeah, that's weird. About the Tanahashi thing, the funny thing is, I saw him on the Rev Pro show on Friday. Tanahashi was in a big 10-man tag also. And in that match, he was just like laying, like people were brawling all over the Crystal Palace thing. And like 9 of them were. Tanahashi was just laying in the ring, flat on his back, holding his knee the entire time while like the camera was focusing on the guys brawling outside, and Tana just did nothing. And I thought I was really worried about like Sunday, but like I think he just like kind of saved himself up for Sunday there at the Rev Pro show. So he actually moved kind of, all right, I guess, for his form lately on Sunday itself. But yeah, saving him from going up the ladder or the cage or wherever he wanted to go is probably the best.
Yeah. So he was doing the Peter. Kingdom. So he was doing the Peter Griffin cell at Rev Pro.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I would say you wait until his final match at Wrestle Kingdom where he just decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna do as much as I can get away with. If I can deal with it afterwards, I'm not gonna get back in the ring again.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm kind of expecting.
Yeah.
Me and Tim, we're gonna be in the dome for that one. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting to go nuts on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's gonna go all out, 100%.
Yeah. you know when they were preventing him from jumping off for the high fly flow off the ladder, it reminded me of the Wrestle Kingdom 23 when Tanahashi and Shota were talking Muto out of doing the moonsault. That's what kind of reminded me of.
Oh yeah,
Cause
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so um, yeah, you know, I love crazy cage matches. I love stunt shows. This is a nice little stunt show. A nice like a pretty nice exhibition for everybody to do what they do. And it preserved the guys. Like it's preserved Gabe. It preserved Tanahashi. It preserved Darby. Honestly, he took those big bumps. I did do a. If you guys are not aware, I did a podcast with Grapple Vision where we discussed the merits of deathmatch wrestling versus taking these big gigantic bumps all the time. And if you want to go check that out, go to YouTube and search up Grapple Vision. But like he pretty much only did like a couple of big bumps, but he was pretty, you know, it was whatever. And then but the stabbing in the ear, I love that. That was like the least dangerous thing he did in the match, and I love that because there's something about like blood where it gets you like a little visceral reaction. But as Matt knows, like for
Well,
deathmatch wrestling, it's pretty much the safest version of pro wrestling there is because there's not that many head bumps or head drops unless like you're one of those guys who loves taking those bumps off. But like it is great. I love that. And like I'm surprised there wasn't more blood, honestly. There's like I think the only guys that really bled was like Darby and Mox didn't even have like a big gusher going on during the match. I don't remember him like having like his usual like big crimson mask.
I think Osprey bled.
yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
I have a
Um,
picture of Osprey bleeding in my head.
I feel like Mox bleeds less when he's a heel than when he's a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
and also to your previous point, I think like almost everyone in the match was somehow banged up. Like there was Kenny was banged up too. I heard Mox isn't feeling great right now.
yeah.
The only healthy people was probably Claudio and Darby, maybe. Ibushi is never really not banged up, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I thought it was a good way to like hide everybody's deficiencies, honestly.
exactly, yeah.
Like you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I mean,
But there was
if if you notice with Osprey, like all of his big spots were stuff where lots of people were catching him. He didn't really take
Yeah, right.
many actual bumps until like that big heat angle at the end.
yeah. And I mean like the Young Bucks, Matt always has that bad back. But Matt has no problem laying on
Okay,
that back.
Oh,
He was wrong with that night.
Right, the
so-
Young Bucks were right too. They were fine,
And-
I guess.
And like because I know Emily, her whole thing is writing about the Golden Lovers. Please read all that stuff. She does a great article on the Golden Lovers. A great primer on them. And how was it to actually see the Golden Lovers live for you, Emily?
So fun. This is my third time, I think, seeing them together. Second time them actually wrestling together. So I spent most of the match watching them. Like there were some spots that I would miss because I'm like too busy looking at the floor. And just them hugging each other. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's always very special because you never know when your last time will be, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing them hit the golden
was actually-
slash was pretty cool to
Oh.
because like they
Yeah.
haven't hit that like gee I don't even think they hit that clean in the Bucks match that everybody talks about. I don't think they hit it clean there, but they actually hit it clean here, and that was pretty cool as somebody who watched them as junior tag champions. It's just nice to have, you know, it's weird to be on that Kenny Omega nostalgia. Oh, we're saying goodbye to Kenny kind of trip that we're. I think that's kind of what people kind of have accepted that this is the last of Kenny, which I mean, it could be, but wrestlers are kind of insane. But it was nice to see like these two guys actually hit their things and hit them great. And I think like a lot of the glue of the match is the Young Bucks because you on the heel side they were the ones getting their butts kicked for most of the match. And
Oh, totally. Like you can always tell these like big matches that the Bucks are the ones who are kind of directing traffic on them.
yeah.
And also, I was kind of surprised that like one of the bigger pops of the entire match was when like the Bucks were going face to face with like the Golden Lovers. Like I know people know about the history between them, of course, but like that of all the 19,000 people in the O2, like that was one of the bigger things in the entire match for them. I was kind of surprised by that everyone seemed to know about it. So, but I was happy about to see it too.
Yeah.
My thing is, what did everyone think about the Hanson callback and the gummy bear stuff? Because that's been getting a lot of, shall we say, discourse online by certain people.
Well, I loved it. It is not worth nearly having a fucking aneurysm over. Jesus fucking Christ, Joe Lanza.
Hey.
But yeah, Hanson, Tim can tell you, everyone in the arena was singing along to that. So, sorry, Emily probably could as well, because but I know Tim was sitting like a few seats over from me, so he could definitely confirm. Like everyone around us was singing along with the with Umbop as soon as it came on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I also thought like the gummy bear spot was totally like I think people are completely misrepresenting it, or like how it was done and how it was sold is like I don't know. People saying they sold it like thumbtacks is just like it's not even the case. Like it's just objectively not true, and it's just so silly to be like so over the board angry about that shit. It was like 20 seconds, and I don't know. I like
exactly.
Yeah,
Same.
and it made perfect sense. Like, of course, Nick is going to sell like he got his head smashed because he did.
Yes.
And then, of course, Matt's going to be disgusted. They're dirty gummy bears off the mat.
Yeah.
And then he got kicked in the face. Like, yes, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, like gummy bears do not provide a cushion when you take a head bump on the gummy bears. There's like, like
no memory for it.
it's not gonna soften the blow. I mean, and like yeah, it makes sense. Production team is fucking with the Bucks because they think it's gonna be, you know, thumbtacks or real glass, but no, it's gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. And I personally I love comedy matches. The Bucks are great comedy. The reaction to it is exactly what they would have been. They weren't like you're not selling the, like Emily described better. They're just, who wouldn't be grossed out by having gross bloody stepped on gummy bears put on their face? That's gross.
Yeah.
I would not eat those. I love gummy bears, but I do not want to eat some that has fallen on a mat where you've seen people bleed and fall on all night. I'm not going to eat that gummy bear. They should have done a
and Doc.
Yeah.
Doc, you and Matt are like both deathmatch fans. You know that like comedy is a staple of death matches. Well, staples of death matches, but you know, comedy is too.
Yeah, there's like an inherent goofiness. Like if you watch like an Abdullah Kobayashi match, or if you watch like even, no, I'm not gonna say him. He's canceled, and I don't like talking about him. But like if you talk about like, there is always an inherent goofiness to like to deathmatch. Even like when New Jack would come out, right? New Jack would take out like random weapons that is given to him by like the crowd, right? So he'd take out like an old school Nintendo, bash it over somebody's head. He would even get like a pool noodle and like try to choke somebody with it. So like it's not that serious, you know? Yeah.
I just think even if you take it on like I just think the meaning of behind it was like completely misrepresented by some people, because like it was just to humiliate the Bucks. People took it as like an offense to pro wrestling or whatever. It was an offense to the Bucks, not to like pro wrestling, like I don't know, even if they would play along like it was thumbtacks, it would still like only humiliate the Bucks and not be like, I don't know, an affront to like, I don't know. I just thought that the meaning behind it was completely lost on some people, so that annoyed me. But
Well,
whatever.
yeah. If people were actually watching the show, and I know I don't watch it all the time, but like the whole story with the Bucks is that Tony Khan and the production team hate them, so they're gonna do everything in their power to mess with them. And like I loved how they came out to Mbop. I'm surprised that the UK fans did not know the words to Mbop, because it didn't come off all well on the TV where it started playing, and I think Kenny was the only one jamming out to it.
Really?
But
Honestly,
was it
like,
different in the?
yeah,
It's so loud.
everyone
people
was
were going
singing along,
wild for it.
Yeah, it was a bit quietened down on the TV version, but it's a bit when you want to do that. It's funny that they do things like that sometimes when you know it's probably cost a fair bit of money to actually get the rights for it in the first place.
It's a constant like by AEW though that like they just don't mic the crowds right, so that everyone who was there live will say like, no, the crowd was hot all night, and everyone watching at home is like, Jesus, this crowd is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
Maybe
I'm
they
happy to
also
hear-
kind of overdubbed it weirdly. I don't know.
Yeah, they kind of lowered the
Sorry,
volume
Dan.
on the crowd and like made the mbop loud, because I get it. Tony wants the people at home to hear mbop, but like
Right.
part of the experience of when you go to the UK is how loud you guys are with the singing. So I'm happy to hear that you guys actually sang the song, because on the TV it was like, oh dang, are they all Emily's age and they don't know anything about Hanson? Like,
Okay, I knew it. Hold on. You're not catching strays.
the Hanson is more of your
mean-
ma and dad's music than your music, but I digress.
I mean, if you contrast it with the shows they've been doing in the last week or so at the 2300 arena, it's been very. I think you can mic up very well there, because it was very clear. For example, at Death Before Dishonor, when after Heterocero's music died down, you get one guy loudly shout, "Podcast, you dickhead!" very loudly.
I love that. You know, like, and I think that when I think about Forbidden Door, I think about usually throughout the years, Forbidden Door has had like, you know, crossover matches. And most of that this year was kind of done on like, because I'm only going to cover like a couple of matches, guys. This is not like a full on review, but like, because like on the pre-show, that's where you saw a lot more of the crossover. But like we had a couple of nice crossover matches. We had, I'll cover this one. We did have Hiromu versus Fletcher, which I thought was pretty excellent. I was one of the people that was mad that Hiromu and Despy were not in the G1 this year, because they had no draws in the G1 this year, really. While like Despy and Hiromu were big draws for the Best of Super Juniors, so it would make sense to kind of like bring those names over, but they didn't. And in the build to Forbidden Door, we didn't really see many people come over for that build. I mean, at this point, Ishii is an AEW wrestler. He's in the conglomeration. But what did you guys think about like the crossovers we had this year?
I enjoyed the ones we got. I knew it was going to be a challenge when they announced it last year. I was just thinking, like, hang on, you're going to be running this like a week after the 5-star and the G1 ends, and it was the same weekend that the 5-star ended this year. So yeah, when I saw the date, like, good luck with that. I like what we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of baffled that Hiromu and Despy never showed up, because they were free, right? They weren't in the G1, as you said.
Yeah.
I also was like really surprised and like negatively surprised that Hiromu wasn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that he didn't ever like come over to America and build some match. Like, no, he only was in Glasgow, right? He was never on an American show, I don't think.
I think he was on one American show because he was the
Was he?
surprise for an all-star.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
in one tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like they
Yeah.
could have built way more and way earlier with those two guys at least, so they have something. But I just think like Tony Khan's weird insistence on doing this on this specific weekend because of this holiday is just really dumb and really bit him in the ass this year. So I don't know.
Because
about that.
also,
But I did really enjoy the matches that we
Yeah.
got in the end, even though the best crossovers were kind of, except for the Hiromu match, were on the pre-show. But I mean, I was already in the arena by then, so I didn't really care whether it was pre-show or main show, whatever.
because there was also a big CMLL card. I mean, they always have Fridays, but there was like a big card on that Saturday. So like a lot of guys, like even Suji, chose to go to Mexico, Arena Mexico. So like for the most part, for more of the build for Forbidden Door, there was more lucha guys in the buildings coming to do matches, and then we didn't really see any CML involvement in this show, except for Persephone and that Fatal 4-Way, which I thought was pretty good. I like that. I like that 4-Way, and I know Tim, like you are. A lot of people were pretty much down on Bozilla while she was in Marigold, except for me. Because she was only 2019 at the time, and then just like for the like over the last like couple months, and then her transferring over to Stardom and getting that 5-star Grand Prix experience. When she came over here, she really stood out. I mean, I know her dad like was one of the guys that were in the development of Big Van Vader. So seeing her bust out like the Vader hammers and do the moonsault, I feel like she made a really good impression. I feel like Persephone also made a good impression because Persephone, I think, she's like 23, and she's from El Paso. If Tony was handing out those double contracts, I think those are two girls that he should kind of like maybe throw a couple of bucks at, you know.
I was really impressed with how strong Persephone was because she like muscled up
jerk.
Brazil at one point for like a Razor's Edge.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was just nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
So with Mozilla, and I think Chris knows this a bit. I have always had a bit of a rough time, even though she's German, or maybe because she's German. I was always a bit down on her as well. I mean, that also has like personal reasons because she's like, she has some public stuff on Twitter that maybe you understand if you're German and don't like.
It's that RFD stuff, right?
It's a bit, yeah, bad political
Yes.
messages that she has some
That's
bad
not good.
tweets back a couple of years back. I try to. I mean, they're all dummies, like wrestlers mostly. You can never like. But I appreciate when wrestlers at least hide their like political opinions and stuff. But I mean, she's still young. She can change that stuff around, hopefully. But like, I also wasn't a big fan of hers, like her wrestling style early. I thought she, especially against like the smaller Japanese women, she often had a bit maybe too much power that she wasn't really able to control that well yet in Marigold. And there were a couple of really, really scary spots that I didn't like. But she's kind of grown on me since she joined Stardom. She had this excellent Azumi match. I thought throughout the 5-star she was always excellent in the ring. So I've kind of cut back on my criticism of her overall. But yeah, I kind of really warmed up to her, I guess. And I really liked her performance too at the Forbidden Door.
Well, this was my first chance of seeing Bozilla full stop. It probably did help. It probably did help for a fair few people on the BritRes side when we found out who her father was, because we're like, oh yeah, 1PW in all those days. And yeah, she impressed me quite a bit to the point where I'm like, because Excalibur brought up the Josh Alexander link, and I'm thinking, well, if Don Callis' family needs a female bodyguard to go with Wardlow, she'd be the perfect fit.
oh my god, I wasn't even thinking about that. That she fits also the breedable.
That would be perfect,
I don't want to
yeah.
hear breedable.
But
Yeah, and like for me as a New Japan guy, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness. It was all right, but like just the thought of that, right? Imagine if New Japan had sent somebody that. Well, no, let me think about who like would it could be that's working. It's not even like Yuji Nagata. It's not even like Kojima. It's not even Tenzan. It'd be like sending Hanma over to challenge. Oh, you know what? It'd be like if they had sent over Chase Owens to challenge Hangman Page for the AEW World Title. That's the level I see Nigel at. But also Nigel's
Well,
really old
yeah, but you
and
gotta
he doesn't mean anything.
You got to consider where it was taking place, because that match worked for a lot of the people in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a local audience.
Yeah, I understand that much, but like as someone who sees the IWGP title at a certain level, I guess because it's not really seen at that level in AEW. I don't even think like Gabe Kidd brought the global belt out with him for his match. I think the only belt that's really canon in AEW is the strong openweight title, because that's the only one that gets to show up on their TV. But I mean, the match was all right. It's just like, I guess like if you're in the UK and like I guess these two are like the two biggest UK names over the last 20 years. I guess it would hit. I think Desmond Wolfe was a big name back like 15 years ago.
I think Pac is probably a bigger name than Nigel was.
Yeah.
Would have been a better match.
And also, we're claiming Danielson. He worked like the camps over here, so that basically makes him ours.
I get that. Yeah,
I think
I get
with
that.
Nigel as well, it's a case of this is his fourth match since he came back out of retirement, and him versus Zach was something I think people have been wanting for at least a couple of years, I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing that really surprised me about that match was good. It was the technical match the card needed. That was fine. I quite like the vignette beforehand with Johnny Saint showing up. That was quite well done, I thought. And at the same time, I'm just thinking about certain people that used to own certain BritRes companies, and now they always talked about how Johnny Saint was one of their wrestlers, and him probably regretting working for the other team that day. But there we are. But I thought that was funny. But was anyone thinking that Garcia was going to turn at the end of the match, though, like I was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure,
yeah. They definitely like tried to get you leaning that way.
Yeah.
I thought it was too obvious. So I was like,
They-
it's not gonna happen. Because they've hit it over the head too much.
Yeah.
They lingered
True,
over it. for
it's
so
wrestling.
long,
It's
though.
not one for subtlety.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
think that I thought Sorry.
because he had the towel around his neck that they would have teased him throwing in the
Yeah.
towel, but that never happened.
that was my
Not
thought
once.
as well. I think about like the match itself, I was like extremely disappointed when it was clear that Nigel was gonna be the opponent, like before the match, because I never cared for him as a wrestler. I never watched like Ring of Honor in the 2000s or whatever, and I also was kind of like, I didn't think his Danielson match last year was that great. I wasn't into that like whatsoever, to be honest. So I didn't really like look forward to it at all. I thought there could have been a way better opponent for me personally for Zach, but I ended up really enjoying the match though. I thought it was excellent to watch.
Yeah, in a vacuum,
I thought it was
it's
better
a-
than the Daniels match last year.
Yeah, in a vacuum, it's a good match. In a vacuum, like just in its own universe, I did find it better than the Danielson match, which but I did like their Wrestle Kingdom match better. But it's just like, I guess because I think about like
I like
the
to clarify. I mean the Danielson McGuinness match last year.
oh
I thought it was worse. Not Danielson Sexy but Junior.
okay. Okay, that totally destroys my point, but thank you, man. I want to talk a little about like the world title matches, right? Because there was two world.
Oh,
title matches.
can I ask you one thing, Doc?
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I ask you one thing really quick? What
Yeah.
did you watch the first episode of Peter Pan?
First ever
What
Peter
did you
Pan?
think of the TMDK match? Was like the no, the first day this last week. Did you see the TMDK match on Peter Pan?
Yeah, that
I know
they
we're not
had
talking about Peter Pan yet, but
yeah. So like I get there was 2 nights of Peter Pan. Then TMDK showed up for one of the. Oh wait, was it? Are you talking about the? You're talking about the Kosei and Zach match, or it's where
right.
they um you know it let me let me think about it because like when I think about TMDK, it doesn't. I think like that Fujita is probably one of the best technical wrestlers out there. Um,
Right.
Chris Brooks is really good. He's grown on me since he's been in Japan, and Takeshi has Bonbon, and Bonbon is over with me. I thought it was an okay match.
Yep. My point is a bit like the thing I think you were touching on is Zack Sabre Jr. Like I heard a lot of people say that like Zack Sabre Jr. should have never sold for like Nigel McGuinness, who isn't even a full-time wrestler and stuff like that. Um, I just wondered what because like a couple of days later, Zack Sabre Jr. was in the DDT ring selling for like Chris Brooks' young guy basically, and had like a pretty similar performance. I thought like with how much he took in the match and like
Yeah.
still a dominant win in the match, but selling still a lot for them. And I thought like I didn't hear the same arguments about that match. Is my point that I heard a lot about like the McInnes match that he shouldn't have even sold for that guy.
Who
You
said that
know?
he shouldn't have sold for Nigel? That's nuts. Because like it's pro wrestling, right? I know I love stories, I love telling stories, I love all this stuff, but like one of the stories that you tell in the match is like your struggle to win, and part of that is selling. What I didn't like about early Zack Sabre Jr., especially in the United States when he would wrestle in like PWG and Evolve, is like a lot of times he wouldn't sell. He'd just like go and do his hold, move to the other hold, go to the other hold, whether that and it wasn't until like he fought guys like Keith Lee and Walter where they chopped the crap out of him, and then when he transferred to New Japan and he started really becoming one of the best sellers in wrestling, that I really got into him because one of the best aspects of Zack Sabre Jr. is his selling. Whereas before he would no sell when he was way skinnier, which was kind of weird to me. But one of the best aspects of Zack Sabre Jr. is his selling, whether it's selling a limb, selling his frustration, being tired. Whenever he takes a big hit, he like the way he crumples. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the best sellers, and to say he shouldn't sell for Nigel, whose whole big gimmick is doing this limb work, doing those jawbreaker clotheslines. Like, why wouldn't you sell for Nigel? Even though I'm coming in here hating him, but like, I love Nigel when he was younger. I love Nigel when he was ROH champ and when he'd come and do PWG, and I liked when he was in TNA. So I am also one of those guys that feels like Nigel didn't get the shots he should have gotten, but that's out of his control. But to come and say like Zack Sabre Jr. should not sell for Nigel McGuinness, like, and I know people
It's
like
it's
it's like nuts.
it's less about like the two wrestlers itself. It's more like the like putting it as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion shouldn't sell for basically an announcer who's not even a wrestler. That's like the way people put it to make it like, I mean, to make it as bad faith as possible, I guess. But
That's stupid.
that's another issue.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that's
stupid.
bad
I
faith.
That's my entire point. That it's just stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. They had 2 world title matches. They had Tony versus Athena, and I was surprised that I wasn't surprised that Athena lost. I was just like surprised at how much I didn't really get drawn into the match. Because usually I'm into both of their title defenses, but for some reason in the match I wasn't like really I wasn't really drawn into the story of it. I'm not sure why. Oh, hello.
No,
Oh,
sorry,
I
earlier,
wanted the others to
contemplating.
go. So
Yeah, I liked it well enough, but yeah, it's like thinking
Yeah.
back, I can't think of any point where it actually just grabbed me. So yeah, just that much to say on it, really.
Yeah, the four-way was a lot. I felt the four-way was a lot stronger, and Tony had a much better match at the Texas show against Mercedes. And it's a question. The problem is though now you've had Tony beat Mercedes and you've had Tony beat Athena. Who can take the belt off Tony? What now? Athena using the thing to cash in her shot. It's like you've kind of made things a bit difficult for yourself there.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree. Like because if you look underneath, like Tony and Mercedes, like that that women's undercard has gotten a lot stronger over the last year. So I mean, like Tony still hasn't had a feud with Statlander yet. Like somewhere down the road, we got like Willow coming up, but I can't imagine Willow and Tony having a feud right now.
Does that
Not
mean
without one of
Tony
them turning,
turns?
probably Tony.
I
Could
can
be,
see
but like I
why-
don't. Tony's as champion is just kind of working, so I just don't see any reason to like take it off her. I mean, it's kind of like looking. I mean, like it's an unfair comparison, but like looking at Hulk Hogan in like 1985 and going like, well, who's going to beat him? It's like, well, don't worry about it. He's popular.
Yeah.
He's over.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think AEW's content with having Tony as their champion right now. They have their Australia show coming up in February. I don't think there should be a rush to have her drop it to anybody just now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
I mean, I could see Tony maybe getting into a feud with once Triangle of Madness have sorted out all the business with like Darklander and all that. I could see Thekla versus Tony happening at some point.
I think that could actually be next, like next
Yeah,
pay-per-view actually.
That feels like that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it does feel like Thekla's gonna beat Jamie Hayter. Welcome back, Jamie. I and then we have like go ahead.
I agree with Chris. I just wanted to say that I think either Willow or Stead could easily like be built to that point next year at some point to dethrone Tony. And I also think it wouldn't have really been a good fit if Athena beat her now. Like I love Athena, but I didn't think she had her greatest performance in this feud in particular, like seen over the entire feud. And also the match wasn't I think I expected a bit better, I guess. I thought the finishing stretch was excellent, but like at some parts of the match I didn't really get into it either. So yeah, got the same conclusions, I guess. I just hope like that Chris and Willow, if they introduce these women's tag belts soon, I just hope they don't get like pigeonholed as a tag team then or something like that.
Oh yeah. And now like I'm gonna talk about like the last 4 matches that I wasn't really like big into. So I mean, one I was big into. I did like Swerve versus Okada. They did outdo their last meeting, which was like I think last time they had a no contest, or did Okada win their last match? I think
The
it was
Bucks
like
ran in.
Yeah, it was a run in. But I think this match was way better. They had a way easier story to tell, with Okada focusing on the knee and the leg. And like yeah, I thought it was pretty adequate, like a very adequate 4-star match, if there is such a thing. And then the post match with Wardlow coming in, that was interesting. Just to have like Don Callis surrounded by all these guys. And of course, my favorite part is they brought in the G1 winner for the All In. Oh no, for Forbidden Door, the G1 winner came there not to have a match, but to nod and smile at Wardlow. I thought that was great. Just great stuff.
Oh, he had that match with Ishii on Collision.
Oh yeah, he had that
Lovely
G1 match with
that
him.
was like the best match of the week.
It was like another G1 match for him, and like he killed it. This is like the second match this year where he had like a killer match with Ishii. Those two just have incredible chemistry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope Wardlow doesn't get injured or something again, and the run gets cut short. 'Cause it's like, if that happens again, I don't know where it's going to go for him in AEW a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen him for the last 2 weeks. We didn't see him last week or this week, so who knows? That's a little crazy to me that we didn't see him last week.
Good point, actually. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Don Callis needs all his big greasy boys around him.
Yeah. And like there was MJF versus Hangman. I did not like the feud. I did not like how they retconned everything the day before, like 2 days before, of him cashing in the contract. The stipulations is fine, right? Stipulations fine, but reworking it so the contract is not cashed. Why did he do that?
Yeah. It's subtle, but you can probably tell I'm not a big fan of MJF.
Me either,
I
man.
just don't. I don't think he's he's fine. I think he had some good instincts 5 years ago, but I don't think he's really developed all that much since. And I generally don't like the type of stories that he tries to tell. And I really don't like it when he goes into the edgelord stuff. That Jarrett promo from earlier this year was just a fucking embarrassment.
Good God.
Yeah, and the finish to this match was like, it was pretty much the same as the one from his first feud with Moxley in 2020. And I remember that being like a stinker of a feud as well. And you could tell it was the first one where he was kind of leading the creative on it.
Yeah. I hated that MJF got a visual pin on Hangman. Like, why? What was the point of that spot? And then to have Hangman cheat at the end to win, I mean, I guess that's outmaneuvering MJF, but that's not really what Hangman's about. But
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, like, being stuck with that thread of, oh, he's still got a contract, so he's still gonna challenge, like, that's so stupid. Like, you could get him to another match without that contract. So I don't know why they decided to do this. Like, it's the most head scratching thing, I think, booking decision wise on this show. That was like the weirdest thing for me. Like, why did this need to happen like that?
I guess because with Swerve and Ospreay having to take time out, there's just kind of like a lack of ready challengers for Page coming up. So just they want to have that one in their back pocket for whenever they decide to use it. I'm glad they added that 1 week stipulation to signing the contract, but yeah, I'll grip my teeth through that feud as well when it happens.
Yeah. So, can I got like this whole rant basically. I don't know. I just really don't. I hated the feud itself. I hated the go home angle on Dynamite more than many things. Like, it's like one of the worst things I think that happened on Dynamite, like in the history actually, just because like of the magnitude of it, like how it influenced the whole world heavyweight title scene essentially. Like other really bad segments are rarely for like the big one, except for other MJF angles, I guess. No, but to be fair, like I expected a worse match overall, because like after the go home angle, I expected the whole match to be just stupid, like MJF shenanigans trying to get Hangman disqualified or counted out. When they ended up not doing that at all and not really paying much attention to the countouts or disqualifications for like the first 80% of the match at all, I was positively surprised about that. On the other hand, it doesn't really make sense, like for Bryce to never really start counting when they're brawling, or like not really paying attention to like any DQ stuff. Like I want to say the table thing I'm not bothered by at all. Like a lot of people said that should have been a DQ. That has never been a DQ in the history of wrestling in any promotion that ever had a table bump. But like other things like the turnbuckle spots and stuff like that. And the finish obviously I thought was atrocious, but overall it was actually ended up being better than I expected. But that's only because I expected it to be the worst case possible, essentially. So, yeah.
If you keep your expectations low, then you can't be disappointed.
Right.
See,
You'd be surprised that you can live under that bar, man.
Well, Doc knows. If Doc knows how much I've pretty much soured on MJF for about since he decided to do the whole thing with Takeshita's name way back when.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this match was fine. But the only problem is, like you say, the go home angle to the Dynamite was like, oh dear God, why are we just? And just to see Briscoe just beat up so easily was stupid in itself for a start. Then the whole, we'll see if people like it when I set someone on fire. And I'm like, why are we just doing this to try and get in Hangman's head just because he humiliated you the week before? Big whoop. I just thought, but the annoying thing is with the 1 week thing, that's good. That's the only good thing to come out of this whole mess, to be quite honest, because it makes clear the difference between, in a way, shows the difference between AEW and the other place when it comes to that kind of stipulation with the cash-in stuff. And also, it means MJF can't do the obvious thing, which is at Full Gear, fuck around and try and get the belt off Hangman there because of all the history the two men have with that event. So we haven't got to go through that cliche in about 2 months.
Yeah, and I was at Grand Slam 2022 just after he won that stupid poker chip, and he was literally looming over the main event, which was Danielson versus Mox to crown new AEW World Champion. And like every so often, they put a spotlight on him, and so the cameras would show him, and it really took away from the match. And I think at that point that was where it's like, right, I'm done with you.
Yeah. I still don't understand why he has so much creative power to do all that. I don't understand where it comes from, where he could talk over Max, he took over Mox's and Brian's program basically by just being there. That doesn't make sense how he's able to have done that. And that was in 2022, and then in 2025 after all these failure to launch, it's still weird how they keep going back to him. I don't get it. But and
I also think that's a big this whole match to me felt like two creative forces pulling against each other. It felt like a whole bunch of compromises made between each other, because you could why would they make all these tips and then never pay attention to them? That felt like a compromise they made.
I think Bryce
MJF wanted
once.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He also maybe Hangman said, this is just speculation, and maybe Hangman said we won't do all your stupid fucking DQ spots, but in return then MJF got the stupid visible free count, which I think is one of an infuriating spot to me too. I agree with you there, Doc. That free count is so unnecessary and bad, and I hated that too.
Yeah. Then they were making it Mark Briscoe came out and broke up the count, but he didn't. He didn't even make it to the ring. I know we just had a Dynamite yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys watched it, but Mark has totally moved on and is now trying to fight for the TV belt, the TNT belt, and I'm just did they lose back MJF for the rest of the month? What happened here? I guess because MJF's building that anniversario match with Mystico, which is gonna be the day before All Out, so hopefully he doesn't have to show up. But it's just that's
the weird.
If I sound down on the show, I'm not down on the show really. I was just down on this match. It's just
it's weird though with MJF though that is the strongest thing he's done in years. The stuff in Mexico with Mystico.
Yeah.
To me,
well, you're not gonna out-politic Mystico in Mexico. Just ask Alberto Del Rio about that.
No.
So
I just love the fact that they had a vehicle waiting for him after all that's done, because they knew he was probably going to get the shit beat out of him if he didn't get out there fast enough.
Oh yeah, that American flag draped on Mystical and taking his mask. That's like, oh man, that's good stuff. That's good heel stuff that you should be doing with him. That's the kind of work he should be
That's when
doing.
you do that
Right.
shit more, dude. Then I like
Yeah.
it.
And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make it to All Out this year, because it's going like against the big WWE show. It may do a bad number, and
Oh,
if
doesn't want to be
MJF
part
can
of it.
dodge that one, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever.
Oh, you wouldn't think that MJF would pick his days like that, would you? He's certainly not missing TV for the last few weeks during what would be traditionally a down period for ratings, right?
I don't know, Chris. I don't know.
Maxwell Jacob
Conspiracies.
Hogan.
Following that, we got a couple of tag matches, and I'll talk about this first one because Hurt Syndicate versus FTR versus Brodito, and I actually like this match, for the most part, because I saw a lot of selling from the Hurt Syndicate for Brodito. I saw that if they were ever gonna have a match, it would actually be pretty good. And FTR actually lost, which was pretty cool to me that they finally lost or dropped the fall in some match, because you talk about guys who don't really lose all the time. That's FTR, and that's also Hurt Syndicate. So it kind of felt like going into it, I was like, probably Brody's gonna lose because he's the only one that conceivably loses all the time. But I was very happy that Brodito ended up winning the titles, saving the titles. I was also very happy that my boys, the Gates of Agony and Ricochet, got to get some shine off of the Hurt Syndicate. And I'm hoping that Hurt Syndicate pays off that. I think they put it out there that, no, we want to lose to the Gates of Agony. Well, I hope they do. I like Bobby and Shelton. Those are like two of my all-time guys. But if they come in and they lose to Toa and Bishop Khan, I'll be so happy. I was happy last night to hear Khan and Toa cut promos, and they were good. I was surprised at how good Toa was. So I'm happy Brodito won the belts. They're super over. This is the summer of Bandito, and it continues with more gold. And I'm just happy to actually have like a good guy win a title without any real I guess having interference and shenanigans, but they beat FTR clean, so that's good enough for me.
I was just amazed that, they announced it as an elimination match, and everyone's like, whoa, so her Syndicate might actually have to take a pin here. And then the morning off, they changed that. It's like, no, don't worry.
Yeah.
And then, and then they got them literally as far away from the ring as they could during that fall. So
That was funny.
just magnificent work, boys. Magnificent work.
There was what was that? I think Rich Blatter said something about by the time the pinfall was done, they were at the airport or something along those lines.
I was laughing at that because the moment I saw I don't even understand why they wore New Japan outfits. I guess to have that little bit of mystery of who did it, and then they just revealed themselves after. That was funny to me.
Gates of Agony
thought,
did Tag League a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the Gates of Agony were pretty good in that tag league. But
Yeah, so those tracksuits might be legit.
Yeah. But just seeing them unmask themselves, no mystery at all, that was funny to me. Oh, who are these guys? Are these new guys? Who's it? Oh, it's okay. No story. I just thought that was funny. And then everyone was celebrating for the 4 days beforehand. Okay, that's the end of them. We won't see them again. And then they show up on Dynamite to get their pound of flesh, and I thought that was funny. Yeah. And then go ahead.
Yeah, just was gonna say that this was my designated break where I was out in the Concourse and got me some beers.
That's good.
Went to the toilet, really relaxed, didn't worry about it at all. I was actually kind of mad because both tag matches designated breaks for the evening. So when the other one opened, which I guess you were gonna get to, I was kind of mad about that because I planned on doing my first break later than the opener. So.
Yeah.
But damn it, I don't need this yet.
I had time
Yeah,
to
exactly.
watch Adam Copeland because he opened.
Yeah, yeah, that was really disappointing in a way.
I'm very happy Bandito and Brody won. Actually, it did make things a bit fresher in a division that has kind of been I'd say it's been struggling for quite a bit. In the case of the Hurt Syndicate Gates of Agony thing, I am so happy that for once we actually got the reasoning behind it pretty much straight away the next day when they had that clip of Ricochet playing the promo on his phone.
Yeah.
I thought,
Nobody
oh,
likes a
good.
kiss
We
ass.
actually have...
I mean, yeah, it's significantly better than like, I don't owe you people an explanation.
Yeah, I love Ricochet in this. Ricochet in this run has been so entertaining to me because he always has receipts.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Like I'm a big Ricochet guy. I was a big Ricochet guy when he was Prince Puma and up until now. So, and shout out to you, Matt. I was a big fan of him as Open the Dream Gate champion because he's probably one of the best gaijins ever to wrestle in Dragon Gate. So,
I just got a shitload of Dragon Gate UK DVDs. And like the Ricochet matches in some of those are definitely top of my list to watch first.
yeah, I gotta say, enjoy those, man. And like quickly to get rid of this match because just like you guys took a restroom break on this, I also didn't watch the opening match once I heard on this day. I'm not a big Edge fan, so so I also took this like to make my breakfast because at the time I think it was like 10 o'clock. So I was making my breakfast at the same time. I had some eggs and bacon and some sausages. That was my I had a grilled tomato. I do not have baked beans, so I couldn't make a full English, but I was almost there.
Could be
but,
worse.
so,
Could
yeah.
have had cheese and pickles like Amira.
So you made the sort of full English that Mercedes would go for.
Yeah. So this match it happened, and I thought it was Nick Wayne not being able to go there, and the Luchasaurus thing. And did he lose the name Luchasaurus? Is that why he's kill switch still? Because that doesn't make sense to me. And then they had the weird mid-match turn where Luchasaurus chokeslams Kip or bullies Kip around, and it didn't make any sense. I don't get what was.
It was basically a heel and a face versus a heel and a face the entire time. Like both teams were made up of each heel and a face.
I mean,
yeah, but oddly Christian is the face somehow.
Yeah.
For us, maybe.
It's like this whole. I mean, first off, I'm happy to see Luchasaurus Kills, whatever he's called this week, back, considering the fact that he got double pneumonia and shit. So
apparently
he's wrestling again.
His wife found him like unresponsive. That's what happened. I guess he was like in there. He was at home, and like the wife found him unresponsive, like on the floor, and that's how. So to see him go from that, because I always stand for like my California guys, and Luchasaurus is a California guy, so I'm happy that he's alive, walking around, and I'm happy that he's on TV. Well, he was on TV, and it was good to see him, but like that match was just like, it was a match. And overall,
yeah. So the whole thing is the whole issue I have with this speed run that is basically Cope and Christian coming back together is like we know what this is going to lead to probably by the end of it. We know it's going to end to probably one or both of them potentially retiring from full-time competition. We're just getting it all done within about 6 to 8 months, and it does feel like okay. We've got the pay. What really bothered me was the promo they cut at the Dynamite afterwards, where Christian is going, "We took care of my problem." I'm like, "No, you didn't. Nick Wayne is out for 10 weeks. He'll be back. Then you get rid of the problem, and it's just." And
so we're stuck for
that whole thing of Cope trying to stop Christian from doing the father thing in that promo, and they was just like, "Oh, you're all sickos, fine." I'm just thinking, "Oh, this is so cringe. Can we just get to them winning the belts for like a month or two and then lose to someone better, please? Just end it now."
They might as well just
actually
win
think
the
this is
ROH
like
belts.
Let's
No
not
one
do
knows
that
tag belts.
again. Let's
I
not
do
do that
think
again.
though
We did
that
23.
oh god, I do think though that it's basically a blessing in disguise for Nick Wayne breaking his foot at this moment, dodging this
and
match.
also-
I think that was good for him.
And also staying heel in general, because I think he's actually doing quite well in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's doing a really good impression of Christian, and if you're gonna impersonate someone's promo style, Christian is someone that's a standard that you should be going for, because that the way his inflections and his way that he talks is a lot how Christian pauses when he talks, because I'm doing my Christian Cage, because like it's a really it's really funny to hear him like evolve from like shy little boy to now I am daddy. Like it's just funny. It's just funny to me.
I'm just glad that he won't be, as long as he doesn't end up doing "I'm conducting business" 5 times in a promo because he couldn't remember what the next line was. We'll be fine.
But yeah, that was our review of Forbidden Door, and I'm now gonna ask like the fun questions, because one of my favorite things to read online is Footy Scran. Just to like look at like what you guys eat in those football stadiums that you got over there. What was the Scran like at Forbidden Door? If you guys got anything.
Fine. Yes, like hot dogs and like chicken tenders, I think. I didn't buy any because they're insanely overpriced.
I spent almost $20 on Pick and Mix. It was good and worth it.
my scran was like consisting mostly of beer and water, I guess, and cider too, I guess. One thing I kind of have to note about the scran in the O2 is like maybe let me preface this by saying that I love all the service workers in the world, all great, but I think the O2 has like some of the slowest bartenders I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I was in a queue for beer when like some match started. There were 3 people in front of me, I think, and each of them only had like one drink, and I almost missed the entire match waiting. That was insane.
The entire tag title match, and I had maybe 5 people
Yeah.
in front of me.
You missed
Right,
nothing.
that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like a few minutes to get a drink in a queue of 5 people. Maybe it doesn't add up.
Yeah, I had exactly the same experience. It was so crazy.
It's great to hear that concession stands are universally bad everywhere. So, because I go to Lakers games, I go to Dodgers games, and like sometimes at some Dodgers games, I spend like two to 3 innings just waiting in line for my Dodger dog. So it's great to hear that it's the same thing over there. Also, extremely overpriced. And like,
Oh, yeah.
I do love. There's something about like food in London. Not quite like the British food is the good stuff over there, but like when I get a kebab, or when I get like what was it? When I get like one of those paneer wraps with a chicken tikka masala in it. I love Indian food in the UK. It's phenomenal. But not really a big fan of like Sunday roast or the other stuff I tried there. But maybe it's improved since 2013. I'm not sure. Did you guys eat outside
tell you-
of the arena?
Yeah, I can tell you maybe we were at the Eve show the day before, and
Yeah.
we were at a place there. I ordered a burger and some fries and a salad, and that was very good. Like I had a chicken burger, I think, and
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot
yeah.
what it's called, Nick. Chris, maybe you can chime in.
The Big Penny. It's Eve's regular venue, and like I've heard the food there is very good, and like it's my first chance to try it because I go down there every month. But you know, traffic being what it is, I usually only just about make it for doors. So yeah, it's first time trying the food. I thought it was pretty good. Like not amazing, but like pretty good. Like I think well worth the money though.
That's all
Yeah.
right. Because like, and then you guys are earlier talking about going to meet up. I always like checking that meetup like little thread in Social Suplex to see what was happening, and I'm happy that you Chris and you Tim were able to meet each other and like hang out for a bit, because like I know like I heard stories from like Akaze and from Trish about a big group of people like in Japan all meeting up for like a Wrestle Kingdom, or like when everybody met up for I think All Out this year. Everybody had a big meetup. So how was that for you
in
guys?
Texas for all.
Right.
How was it meeting people
yes.
in person?
Yeah, it's good. So I don't know if you know Peter Edge. He does a lot of work for Social Suplex Network and PW Musings. But I met him and Trish at the Doncaster Rev Pro show a few months back. And he actually lives fairly near me, so I gave him a lift back after his train got cancelled as well. So I knew him pretty well. Like I got to meet a couple of other people. So I met Tim, obviously, a guy called Snazzy, who's another Reed regular, and a couple more people. So that's pretty fun. Like just nice to like hang out for a bit before the show started.
Yeah, I always find it fun to meet other fans who I would talk to like for a long time online. I think the only guy that I've met so far from this level of Discord was Chris CSW. Really good guy, really tall guy, really handsome guy. I keep putting him over on my shows. That's so he'll come over. He'll come over eventually. But it's nice to actually meet fans and talk to them face to face. And like I also like doing this show because I get to talk to you guys and like getting to put a voice to like all these comments that I read online. It's like it's great. It's great to finally like put a personal spin on these interactions I'm having online, because sometimes you're just interacting and it's great. Everybody's anonymous really, but like it's fun to actually like make a friend or make a connection with somebody and just be like, hey, good to see you. Have you ever had an experience meeting fans in the wild, Matt? Or
Mostly Trish actually, but like a long time ago, out of the Social Suplex slot anyway. And of course Trish and I used to do that podcast together for a while. So that's about it really out of wrestling shows. I mean, we've got some coming up in Stoke, like New Wave are doing a show at one of the music venues pretty soon, so might do that. Don't know. See who shows up to that, I suppose.
yeah. And there was a kind of big show that happened over the weekend. I'm only gonna talk about like the one match that anybody really talked about from there. I'm talking, of course, about Dan Chocodino versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. And I know that not all of you watched the match, so I'm just going to describe some spots. So Dan Chocodino, what Dan Choco means is men's preference, basically gay. So his name is like Gay Dino. And so his character is that he's Pepe Le Pew, but Japanese. I don't think Emily gets who Pepe Le Pew is, but he was a very handsy skunk.
Just glad to say I have no idea who that is.
He was a skunk who sexually harassed cats that often end up with a white stripe paste on its back.
Yeah.
This is a cartoon.
Yeah.
Probably should have that.
It's a cartoon. but yeah, we're probably not ever gonna see Pepe, because I have never seen Pepe Le Pew pop up in like any of the Looney Tunes like reboots that they've done like over the last couple of years. He's disappeared. but like that's the best thing I can do to describe him because like he pants Tanahashi. So you saw the ace's ass. Um, he caresses his breast. There's a spot where they do the test of strength, right? And I know the famous test of strength GIF is Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, where Ultimate Warrior is on his knees and shaking his head.
Oh yeah.
So like so Tanahashi is like winning like the test of strength, right? But then Dino's on his knees and he's trying to kiss his thing, right? His little ace. And so Tana has his butt all the way out so that he's avoiding him. I was surprised about how hard Tana tried in this match. It was probably better than most of his G1 matches, like in terms of what his effort is and his bumps. Because he went up for the 5-star, not 5-star, for the high fly flow, the high fly cross. Eventually, he won the match, but at the end, like he won Dino's respect. Dino won his respect, and in return for the match, Tanahashi had offered any young boy of his choice, whoever he liked. What are your guys' feelings on that?
Oh boy. The Danjoku is interesting in 2025, and definitely an interesting character to have in 2025. These kind of matches where it's not totally serious and there is a bit more the comedic side to it, I'm fine with. It's when I've seen him go up against people for like the KOD title and he's still being Dino that makes me go, maybe don't do so much of your usual stuff here if you're trying to do a match for the main title in the promotion.
I think he did have a match this year where he was like just shooter Dino, and it was pretty good actually. But that's few and far between. Like I think he switched gimmicks with somebody, and he was because Dino was a legit collegiate wrestler, so it's I like personally I'm like, okay, I guess like there's parts of it that are like inherently funny, right? There it's you get a little chuckle out of it, and like I know like when you have a Western set of eyes on, even like I do have friends who are Japanese and they kind of see it as like it's reductive. It's reductive. I mean, there's no way it's not reductive of like gay people and sort of using gay panic. And then like I also watch like a lot of lucha, so Exoticos, like he's pretty much a Japanese Exotico also. But the funny part about Exoticos is like 70% of them are actually straight men. So it's just like it's like a weird, it's like because wrestling goes back to vaudeville, right? And vaudeville is like a stage act, comedy, all that stuff, and this kind of plays into that. But like, I thought it was funny for what it was, and then like Murashima just like sitting like because one of the young boys is Murashima, right? He's just big boy, and like Dino just goes to him and starts caressing him, and like Tanahashi offering him up on a silver platter was just funny to me. But that's kind of like, I mean, Dino doesn't represent the DDT style as like what we know in the main event now. The ones that do represent that style is like I see like this. I'll talk about this other match. There was Higuchi versus Ueno for the KOD, and that match was phenomenal.
Yeah, can I real quick tell you my Dino takeaway, because I watched the Peter Pan too.
Yeah.
The show. So with Dino in 2025, I think the first time I saw Dino live, like in person, was in 2023 at some like really small. I think it was the show they always do together around New Year's with like Big Japan.
Ooh.
And I think like the Dino I see now, especially in like these streamed matches, I don't think the show I was at in 2023 was like broadcast anywhere. And I think there was like a bit of a difference now. And now he's like when he does his entrance, right? And he's like kissing people in the audience everywhere. I think he's looking a bit out now for people who actively want to be kissed. The first time I saw him live, I had more of a feeling that it was a bit more like maybe non-consensual for some of the audience there that he tried to force himself on. So I wasn't a big fan of that back then. I think now it's a lot more palatable with the way he does it. And in general, I thought like the match was actually like surprise. I liked it a surprising amount, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like I thought the video package was extremely well done before, and you could see like just how much it means to Dino the entire match. And I thought like Tanahashi did extraordinary work to like get Dino over actually, because like he understood relatively quickly that Dino was the audience favorite in this match, and Tanahashi did like everything to get booed. He like tried to like he faked trying to get people to cheer him, which got Dino cheered even more in return, and stuff like that. He did constantly, which was like just perfectly played by Tanahashi, I thought, and overall like the story made sense for what it was and what it always would be, and in that sense, it was kind of perfect, like front to back, I think, for what it was.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
I kind of compare it to the match he had with Stalker Ishikawa last year for Stalker Ishikawa's retirement.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, you should watch it. He gets
it's on my list since forever.
He gets the whole vibe of like how to work the crowd, because Stalker is probably my favorite comedy wrestler ever. One of my favorite wrestlers ever. But like he got like how to play the heel, how to treat the guy like a joke without making him a joke, and like it's just good. You see, I love that in his last year, Tana's working how he wants to work, and that's sort of like, if that makes kind of sense, because he's working these guys, he's putting this effort in, and like he's getting to be in these environments where he's kind of like able to kick his shoes off and just do the match that he wants to do. And you know, like I'm a big Tana guy, and this is probably one of my favorite one of his performances this year, which, I mean, that's not really saying a lot considering the year he's had. It's kind of been like, you know, it kind of sucks that him and John Cena have both had like a really down year in ring, but that's kind of expected with both of them being almost 50. So it's just I really hope Tanahashi. I do think, to your guys' point earlier, that he's probably going to go really all out on the January 4th, hopefully, and whoever's there with him, I hope is able to bring him up to the level that he deserves to be at. And like, to speak on DDT, there's a difference between their comedy style, because people always talk about DDT and their comedy wrestling, and like the blow up dolls, and like the matches where they have the Splash Mountain matches or the campground matches. But like over the last 5-7 years, there's a main event style that's similar to like how Big Japan has the strong division. You got Kazu Higuchi, you got Ueno, you got Mao, who I'm an absolutely big fan of. He had that good match with Suzuki on this card also. You got Takeshita when he shows up, but there was a match between Higuchi and Ueno that I thought was pretty phenomenal, because Higuchi is probably when people think about like Walter in 2016, I think Higuchi, but Higuchi might be better than Walter. That's how highly I think about him. But Ueno, like a lot of people kind of like underrate Ueno. They kind of just see him as a pretty face and like Ibushi 2.0, but I like Ueno, so I like the match. And go ahead.
Yeah, I really liked the match too. I actually liked the Jun Akiyama match the day before better, to be honest. Yeah. But I also really liked the Ueno match. I'm also like a big Gucci fan, like you. When he had his title reign in 2022, I think. Was when I got into the promotion really for the first time. because of his title run, because I thought he's such a great wrestler.
He's
And
a
I really
beast.
loved his matches back then. And I was so happy when I saw this year that because I fell out of DDT again. Like I'm always watching like the big shows, the 2 or 3 biggest shows of the year.
Yeah.
But in general, I stopped following DDT kind of when he lost the title. And when I heard that he's back at the top this year, I was really happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, that lasted for like a couple of minutes, and then Hirata cashed in his title shot, and I got to hear Tokyo Go as a victory theme, and that was pretty good. People at the beginning of the show, I tried to do that, but it's hard to coordinate that. But he comes out, he wins the title, and I like him. He's just a funny guy. To go back to like, oh, DDT is not just a comedy promotion, and then the comedy guy wins the belt. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I fell in love with him when I was living in Japan like last year, because I was kind of casual DDT fan, but their shows are so, all the shows are quite cheap in Japan, but theirs especially, and they were always on at just a good time for me to go. So I got a lot more accustomed to like the lower card people like him. I own his sunglasses. Yeah, so this is very nice news to wake up to.
Yeah, I was just typing to a friend like, are we like ironically it's saying like, oh, we're gonna see 2 title changes, huh? Like then fucking got him with the roll up and was like, what the fuck just happened? But like I dig it for like, because like the DDT fans love him, right? So it's just kind of really like, just it wasn't a bad cash in that way, because like it was really fan servicing and like everyone had a good time with it. I kind of felt bad for Ueno, but like the way Ueno played it as well was like, yeah, you got me, but he wasn't like sad about it really. So
yeah, juxtapose that to the last 20 years of Money in the Bank cash-ins, and like this attempt at like for what MGF did with his contract. It's just it's a satisfying ending that you want. It's kind of like I didn't really expect it, but just like, okay, cool. And then he dances, and then I'm happy. I like dancing wrestlers.
Yep. I think that's like the big contrast, right? Because usually Money in the Bank cash-ins are always a heel getting a face pop, which is stupid and doesn't work. But this was actually like a cash-in, that also got a face pop, but because it was supposed to, and was supposed to be a feel-good moment. When a fucking heel cashes in on a babyface after the babyface had like a 30-minute excruciating match or whatever, that's usually not the you don't want that heel to be cheered, but it always gets like that reaction just because it's a cash-in, like, and that's stupid.
Yeah, people like cash-ins. I'm gonna take a pause right here. Adventure to watch wrestling, and like a lot of the times in the summer we talk about like our favorite like summer trips. So for you guys, whether it be as a kid or as an adult, what's your favorite summer vacation?
Well, for me, it was like there was a couple of summers where my parents went on holiday to Spain for a couple of weeks, and they took my little brother with them. My brother was away, and essentially I got the house to myself for 2 weeks. So it's basically like, living by myself, like having friends over. I'd say that was probably right up there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd say for me this year, I went to America this year. Like I said, I did All In. Got to meet so many wonderful people there. Got to see so many of my international friends after a year of not seeing them. So yeah, just this summer, I suppose. Lots of traveling, lots of fun.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to a music festival every year with friends. It's been like a tradition for like almost decades at this point. It's called the Summer Breeze in southern Germany. It's a metal and hardcore festival. So that's basically my only summer trip each year, but I love it every year. I'm always looking forward to that. But I also wanted to shout out maybe this year because I kind of missed my spot earlier to do it. This trip to Forbidden Door was also excellent, and I wanted to shout out all the lovely people I met there. And it's always like great for me to meet people who are into this hobby as well, because like we don't really have a wrestling scene here in southern Germany, and my regular friends are not wrestling fans, so yeah, it's always cool to meet like other wrestling fans at these events. So shout out to everyone I met there. Thank you.
Great.
Now you've reminded me of the years I used to do when I used to do Download Festival over here for about better part of a decade. Good festival that was. I mostly. I am to the summer vacation of any sort pretty much since I stopped doing that festival, to be honest. But I remember those times very fondly, and the times when I was a kid going to Wales with my parents and stuff to a caravan site that we quite liked. But yeah, those were always good, to be fair.
Yeah. I remember every summer we kind of take like a nice trip somewhere usually. Sometimes we go to Northern California. This year we actually went to Las Vegas to watch the Backstreet Boys and watch Boys to Men. That was a really good summer. This is what I did this summer was I watched boy bands. And usually when we take a trip, we always just like we always try to eat somewhere like that we wouldn't normally not eat. So this year we went to like a steakhouse, Carver Steakhouse at Resorts World in Las Vegas. Please go to Carver Steakhouse in Resorts World. I do not get paid for that. And we had like probably some of the best like it was like a tomahawk, and it was pretty pricey, but I enjoyed it. That's what I did this summer, and like I also in the summer like there's so many good ways to cool off, and I wanted to ask you guys because this is probably going to be my last question of the day for you guys is. How did you guys cool off this summer? Because I know, like over here in America, in California, it's been unreasonably hot, like 112, 108 degrees, like almost like for 2 weeks straight. So I was wondering, like, how do you guys cool off when it gets hot over there?
Well, the Galaxy do this amazing salted caramel like chalk ice, which. Yeah, I think I put on like 3 stone just from eating those.
And those four, I'll have to look for them next time I go and get an ice cream. Although I have been enjoying Ben and Jerry's ice cream quite a lot recently, particularly the cookie dough one. That's probably my favorite. That's my favorite one there. And yeah, well, the UK's had its fair share of unseasonable for the UK warmth. I think this year. I think they've said it was the hottest month. I think last month or the month before. So mostly because UK houses don't really have air conditioning. Mostly putting on the fan that I've got in the office room and putting that on pretty much at quite a high speed for a few hours so I don't get too warm.
Yeah, we also pretty much caught the hottest week or hottest period of our summer when we were at the festival. So we didn't really have like ice or anything to cool down, but I was prepared because I'm really like my skin is very sensitive to the sun, so I gotta be prepared always. But I had like I packed. Yeah, I'm kind of Joland in that way, I guess. No, I packed one of those little sprinkler bottles, that what's it called? Spray bottles that you spray
Yeah.
like people that are too horny or whatever. I picked one of those for me, and I ordered like little fans that you can like these electric fans that you can wear around your neck. And that's how I kept cool, I guess, over the festival with those two very important utensils.
That's great. And again, I just want to thank all of you guys for coming on to this show and joining me today. And I enjoyed this conversation so much. If you want to catch these guys and what they're doing, I have links in the episode description. So please check everything else out they do. And if you guys want to have like, this is your time to say goodbye, go ahead and whatever message you want to send out there.
Oh, Doc, sorry, we were losing you there.
Oh yeah.
A bit, yeah.
So like again, thank you guys for joining us on this show. And hopefully I'll have you guys on again. And hopefully it won't be so hot because I am sweating so much over here. If there's anything you guys else you want to say, go ahead and say it.
Doc, sorry, your microphone's...
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're gone.
If there's anything you guys want to say as a goodbye, go ahead and say it.
Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, like 4 words into that sentence and it just goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, thank you guys for coming on to the show. I enjoyed every part of it. And hopefully we do this again sometime.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, cheers,
Right.
cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Cheers, dude.